Hey, welcome everybody to another edition of Truly Inconsequential. You got my homeboy, Mr. Greer.
Hello.
And old Brim himself. We're just hanging out, having a good golden time. And today, it's not Wabbit season, it's duck season. It's not Wabbit season, it's duck season. I think you guys get the hint. And it doesn't matter if it's in Warner Brothers or the House of Mouse. It is absolutely 200% duck season. Why? Because today we're going to be going at it. Daffy Duck versus Donald Duck. Am I right, Mr. Greer?
That's what it looks like.
And I think I speak for everybody out there. Listen, they both very, very, very important characters, but are they truly consequential or inconsequential? We are here to find out. For those of you who are new to the show, truly inconsequential, not all characters are created equal. The two of us debate this week's zeros in front of a live audience, and look, we might have these characters here that and say they're zeros in all jokingness, but they are great characters. We do love them. We're just gonna figure out who's a little more important.
I was going to say, can't we not say that they're important yet? Because that's exactly what we're arguing about.
They both suck.
Yeah.
They both suck. I think
They're
that we
both
should take them
B-listers.
and fry them all up, make a turducken out of both of them.
I don't like duck. I've never had duck. And I
Really?
No, I've just heard it's not good, so
Actually, duck's not that bad, to be completely blunt.
I'll stick to chicken.
Yeah, it tastes like chicken. What
Yeah,
are
you deep
looking
fry,
at me like
you
that
deep
for?
fry anything, it tastes like chicken.
This is true. This is true. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it could be worse. As long as they're not showing you the head and it's not on Wally.
Yeah,
put it out
I
for you.
definitely don't want to see the head.
You never had a good Peking duck?
No, I've never had duck.
When they're peeking at you. Hello, how are you, Mr. Greer? How you feeling?
Okay, well, everybody, if you're here watching, I very much appreciate it. Feel free to hop in the chat whenever you want to join the conversation, join the debate. If you could, please, like Lisa just did, please share the stream, like the stream, comment on the stream. All the interaction helps us, helps more people see us, and helps more people come join these debates and come have fun with us. So all you guys' support, all it does is help, and we couldn't be more thankful and appreciative of something like that.
Absolutely, positively. So, and again, if you guys are new here, remember, everything you say, everything you do helps us within the show. It helps us debate. It helps us come to our outcome. We need you. So please make sure that, you guys are involved. You know what I
Thank
mean?
you for the like, Herb. Much appreciated. Hope all the internet know as well over at Earplug.
Yes, Herb, Earplug. Thank you so much, brother. I love Kim's dancing around on our stream.
Yeah, that's the GIF I had come up every time somebody likes the stream. It's gonna be her dancing in the Kiko
her
Mom
dancing
bottle.
in the Kiko Mom bottle.
Yes,
That's pretty funny.
yes.
We have a couple of them. We have her dancing in mane and tail, doing the catwalk strut.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, a lot of funny ones.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call it? Anyway, so what do you guys think? Who do you guys think we should talk about first? Should we do, Daffy first or Donald?
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be a tough one because these are literally both the I guess the sidekicks or the B characters to the main characters in both of their franchises. So it's gonna be a little difficult to decide which one's inconsequential between the two.
Right.
Because they both are very monumental and very important, characters within their own franchises, but they're not as important as the main
characters.
Like Donald's not important as Mickey Mouse, and Daffy's definitely not as important as Bugs Bunny is.
Right. Well, so we think. Some people think that Daffy is more
Bugs
important.
Bunny did not if Bugs Bunny did not become popular, Daffy Duck would not exist. Like he would be an afterthought.
I give you that. But what if things were changed? What if Daffy and Donald were the head of the kingdom?
Well,
maybe if it was the House of Duck.
Well, they both say Daffy. They both say Daffy, so I'll get to that. We'll get to the House of Duck thing in a minute, but later on. But they say Daffy. This is really, really tough. Daffy is more important than Donald. But, like, in what way, though? Like, I don't really understand that. Like, we're going to get to the who's more consequential in the end, but Daffy Duck, I'm having a hard time saying that he is inconsequential just because, like, he does have so many big moments and big fun interactions with Bugs Bunny. I mean, like, duck season, rabbit season is probably one of the most famous things you're ever going to see in cartoons.
Which is Fudd, Daffy, and Bugs.
Yeah, which is Fudd, Daffy, and Bugs Bunny. But, like, is Daffy all that important without Bugs Bunny?
Well, I
'Cause
mean,
that's really what the Mary's driving. She says, "Hey, Mary, hello,
hello,
welcome."
Mary.
No, secondhand hellos. I
Hello,
appreciate
Lisa.
that.
Hello, Herb. Hello, Kim.
Look, I understand. Look, I totally understand that all these Looney Tunes have had cartoons on their own and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But what do you remember Daffy Duck, Duck season, Rabbit season? If you didn't have Rabbit season, you don't have Duck season, and you don't remember Daffy.
Okay, I mean, that's kind of a lame argument, but I'll entertain it. I mean, well, first Herb says without Daffy, you wouldn't have the Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny episodes. That's true.
Why?
See,
I've definitely seen Elmer Fudd going hunting Bugs Bunny without Daffy Duck in the picture.
yes, no, maybe so. Daffy.
It is also a generational thing because the Looney Tunes is not as popular nor as big in the public eye as they once were back in the 80s and 70s.
Well, yeah, I mean that's because they've completely destroyed the artwork, but they started doing that in Disney's artwork too.
Yeah, I know that, but I mean,
the artwork is. That's why I purposely use the newer characters of each of them.
Yeah, but I don't
awful.
think. Yeah, but but I don't think it's really all that bad. You know what I mean?
I do.
Like a part of the new,
So
as part of the
cheesy.
new. Yeah, but it's
Such
not,
a cheesy
but it's
style.
not for you.
It's cheesy style, and at the end of the day, regardless whether it's for me or not, I'm more of the fan that's going to be watching. You're going to lose your older fans. You know what I mean? Moving forward,
Yeah.
I can't fathom like the Disney stuff, and I love Disney. You know that. I can't stand watching the new Disney stuff. I think it's awful. I think that the artwork is just it's
actually really not that bad.
It's You know what I mean? It's the same thing with the Looney Tunes stuff. Like you're
Looney
losing
Tunes,
the old school, art that was part of
Well,
of all the artwork for Warner and for Disney.
But that's a different That's a different conversation because you're never gonna go back to the old school artwork because nobody hand draws cartoons anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's always gonna look over CGI'd or over computerized because that's how people make cartoons now. You don't hand draw everything.
Now my first question is who came first, Daffy or Donald?
And Herb, that's a bazillion % wrong. Donald never affected the storytelling in the Disney cartoons.
A lot less than Daffy.
What are you talking about?
Okay, Daffy
Donald Duck, Goofy, and Mickey Mouse are essentially the Three Stooges of Disney World.
Fair enough, but Daffy Duck is the antagonist for all of the freaking cartoons that he's in. He is the antagonist.
And
Without
Donald
him,
Duck is the
it doesn't happen.
And Donald Duck is the antagonist in every single. I guess we're moving on. Donald Duck is the antagonist in every single one of the Mickey Mouse cartoons that he is involved with.
I don't think so. Definitely not.
He is.
Listen,
though.
I've watched old school Disney and I've watched some new school because I have the 3 kids. So I've watched Disney throughout all these years as I have Warner Brothers.
Facts.
And
I literally when Disney Plus first came out, all I did was
You went and watched
I
all
went
the
and
old
watched all the
stuff.
old stuff because I literally grew up on all those old cartoons.
Daffy, you can understand. Donald, you can't understand. Listen. You know I love
you
the
can
character.
definitely still understand Donald.
It's not the same as Daffy. Daffy was profound. Daffy was out of his goddamn mind, but he was, it was an important.
I understand
character.
that, but you would, but I don't have because it's the same argument because I don't think Donald would be as important without Mickey Mouse.
He wouldn't.
But
He wouldn't. I mean, let's think about it.
I mean, they're pretty much both sides of the same coin.
I mean, we haven't gotten to Donald yet, but I mean, he's walking around like a sailor. You know what I'm saying?
They probably affect just about as much of the episodes. I mean, they're virtually the same character. The only difference is one can speak better. The one doesn't have a full speech impediment because Daffy does have a lisp, so he does have a speech impediment.
But he is right. You and Kim are biased for.
No,
for
I
Disney.
loved it. I love Daffy Duck. I just kind of think I'm thinking more of like a current state of affairs. And I think Donald Duck is much more well-known. It is going to be much more recognizable than Daffy Duck is at this point in time.
See, I don't agree with that because Warner Brothers has all their garbage out. They just put Space Jam out again.
Yeah, but
I mean, Daffy is still a big part of that universe.
But you have
and Warner Brothers is just. Here it is, and I'm gonna put.
Where do you see Warner Brothers other than
I'm
HBO
gonna
Max?
put it very easily out there for you. Warner Brothers is to Disney what DC is to Marvel. Okay,
yeah, not as good as Disney.
It's just the fact of the matter is that Disney is just out there more. It's the bigger name. However, the characters therein are different animals. The same as Batman is a hell of a lot more famous than some of the Marvel characters that they're coming out with. He was more famous than the Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? So does that make him less, important because than the Black Panther? Because the Black Panther is with Marvel, and Marvel does a lot more than DC. No, it doesn't. That's the answer.
Well, no, it doesn't. But again, I don't think. I think you very much see more Disney properties put around and put in people's faces rather than you see Warner Brothers properties. I mean, like the last.
Right.
And again, if we're gonna argue, like the last when Space Jam came out and Space Jam was
It was
what
awful.
It was. Space
It was
Jam was
awful.
what it was. You know what I mean?
Awful. Don't watch it if you haven't watched it.
Yeah.
But again, I'm just saying in general, the characters themselves, you know what I mean, stand
It's
separately.
It's a hard argument because they're literally both virtually the exact same.
More or less.
There's really is no like the really the only difference is their speech pattern. You know what I mean? Because
I think
they both are antagonists, but they're both antagonists within their cartoons. Daffy. I mean, also look, Donald was an antagonist in some of his cartoons, and not. He was also just friends with Donald and Goofy, but
Right.
he's always the one butting up against the entire group. You know what I mean? He may not be essentially a bad guy, but he definitely is the character that goes against what Goofy and Mickey would like to do.
Right. Daffy is basically, it's all about him. It's a completely different.
Daffy had his own characters from parodies. Donald did it. What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
I don't
because if we're talking about cartoons, Donald had plenty of his own cartoons. I mean, like a ridiculous amount. I mean, like go back and look. Donald's got crazy amount of cartoons with Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Hold on a second. And to be completely honest, even in that whole DuckTales thing and Huey, Dewey, and Louie stuff, Donald was non-existent.
I'm not talking about DuckTales.
But I'm saying like they didn't even use Donald in like maybe a cameo here and there, but he wasn't even in like the Scrooge
because there's
stuff.
A bazillion different ducks within Disney World. But
Well,
I'm talking. But I mean, like, but Donald.
But that makes him less important.
But Donald did have his own run of cartoons.
Yeah, but not as many as Daffy. But let's go back
Probably
to the original question.
Daffy.
Out of curiosity, who did come first, the duck or the duck? That's a very important question. Out of curiosity, I think that Donald came out first. I do think Donald came out first, but I could be wrong.
I should probably say Donald Duck in that Google search.
Because, obviously we have a bunny and we have a mouse, but then the ducks...
Donald Duck was first pictured in a Donald Duck starring series was released in January of 1937.
So 37 for Donald.
Daffy Duck.
Okay.
Come out.
Daffy was a superhero based on Green
Daffy
Lantern.
Duck was the first 1937. They both came out at the same time.
Same time. Interesting. So Herb says Daffy was a superhero based on Green Lantern, which was huge. I think Donald came first. Mary, they came out at the same time. Donald was less annoying, says Mary. Kim says Donald has a bunch too. Herb says Daffy had more standalone episodes than Donald. I do believe he did have more standalone episodes, but he's integrated a lot more. Daffy the thing with Looney Tunes that's different than Disney is that you had so many characters, and I know you can use this argument against me. They had so many cool characters, but they all intertwined with each other. So you had all these characters in all these different cartoons.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? They had Daffy and Marvin the Martian. They had Daffy and Foghorn Leghorn. They had, you know what I mean? All these different characters interacting. With Disney, I don't recall Donald ever doing anything outside of either his own or Donald with Mickey. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never saw like a Donald and Goofy without a Mickey. I never saw Goofy with Mickey without it. I mean, Goofy and Donald. I'm sorry.
No, it's
Daffy
happened.
and Donald and anybody
It's
without.
happened. It's happened. It's happened in the newer cartoons as well. I think the problem.
Maybe in the newer ones
the
I haven't
problem
seen.
is Disney really, for the most part, Disney ran with the tried and true, which is Mickey, Donald, and Goofy. They threw in Minnie and they threw in Daisy,
Right.
where you have
The Fab Five.
where you have Looney Tunes that used everybody. Like Looney Tunes has more characters that they pull from than Disney does. Disney pulls from the same characters over
Right.
and over and over. You know what I mean? And I
Right.
think that kind of adds to what makes Donald important is because Disney doesn't have a lot of cartoon characters that they like to pull from. Like you pull Donald out and you pull out a lot of main points within the Disney cartoons. You pull out an integral piece because look, Mickey Mouse is the forever optimist, the leader, and the happy-go-lucky, I'm gonna go on these crazy adventures type of person. Goofy is the dope who's just gonna go out and follow everybody and just in his own head. Donald Duck is either the antagonist who hates what they're doing, feels like he's not getting enough shine. He's an integral personality that if you pull him out, Disney doesn't have.
But that's the same thing
if
with
you
Daffy.
if you pull out Daffy, you'll still have dopey, crazy, over the top characters.
Yeah, but completely different interactions. Because I mean, you could say the lisp. You know what I mean? You could say, well, Sylvester has a lisp also, but it's a completely.
I mean, like you're not making an argument based on somebody's speech impediment.
No. I'm saying, but it's like, you know, it's they have some similarities, but but it turns out to be a completely different character. You couldn't do the same stuff with Sylvester that you do with Daffy and vice versa. And I do understand in the fact that where you say Disney has the small thing and Warner, but in all actuality, Disney has a much bigger base to pull from than Warner Brothers has, because Warner Brothers has those Looney Tune characters. Disney has not only those couple of characters, but they have all of the other properties therein, which and don't say, oh, they don't go together, because they do in the video games, they have in movies.
But what are you talking about?
Meaning characters from all of the other films. All the other they have so many characters.
No, I know they have so many characters.
They have hundreds of characters.
But I'm talking about I'm talking about the universe that we wound up finding Mickey Mouse, Donald, Goofy, and Minnie Mouse, Daisy, and all them, and Pluto and all that stuff.
Okay,
like they don't really interact with everybody else. Is what I'm saying.
You want to get a bunch of.
I honestly do not know where we came. Mary says I think Donald came first. Herb says Duck Dodgers. Just heard that 2 separate worlds, important in their own universes. I get that. No, they're both very important in their own universes. Daffy could stand alone without Bugs. Donald not so much. There was Donald and Daisy alone. Yeah, Donald had plenty of standalone cartoons. If you haven't seen them, go watch them on Disney Plus. But we'll say both are important, but Daffy for the win. Both important, so no one over the other. Look, again, these are 2 very similar characters and 2 very polarizing characters. Obviously, it's just my problem with it is like you said before. You see Daffy interacting with all of the other Looney Tunes regularly, and I'm not trying to necessarily use that as a knock against him.
Right.
But what I mean is when you see when you see Mickey Mouse, when you see Donald, when you see Goofy, when you see Daisy, when you see Minnie, it's really only like 5 or 6 characters that get involved into those cartoons, into those properties. That's, you know what I mean? Like, you don't necessarily see them interact with Snow White or the 7 Dwarves or Aurora or
but they could.
But they could,
and they have in video games, they have in other things.
But for the most part,
right,
their properties are the same 5 or 6 characters. That's pretty much what we have to work with. If you yoink Donald out of it, you're pulling out a very integral character that takes away a personality. It takes away a version of a character that would definitely change the way everything, like the rest of the cartoons, run as a whole.
It's just because Donald was the angry one. Well, let's move more on to Donald right now, because we've been going on with Daffy and sprinkling in some Donald. Let's go to Donald.
We've kind of just been talking about both of them.
Yeah, let's go to more Donald now, and then we'll sprinkle in some Daffy. Mm-hmm. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, like, look.
I mean, I think Donald wore a navel top and Daffy was naked.
Yeah, Donald was Donald was the anti-Mickey Mouse. That's basically what he was. Donald was there to.
He was pissed off. He was always pissed off. There was never a time that Donald was not pissed off. He was the angry Disney character.
Exactly. He was supposed to be. Yeah, he was the anti-Mickey Mouse.
He's grumpy.
He was the over the top, angry, wants all the shine put on him kind of Mickey Mouse. That's why. Plus, Daffy was more viewed than Donald, as Looney Tunes was on every weekend during Saturday mornings, unlike Donald that showed up in movies. But also you got to take into account now.
This is very true.
You do have to take into account now, and nowadays I would argue that Donald is very much more well-known than Daffy Duck is to a younger audience, and even an audience that's my age. Take out Daffy and Bugs has other foes. Remove Donald, and who is Mickey against? That's what I'm saying. Like.
But was Donald and Mickey? They weren't really against each other.
Yes, they were.
I mean, they were buddies. They were pals.
The main song, the Mickey Mouse song, MICKEYMOUSE. Who's yelling it at the end of that? Yeah, because Donald wants to outshine Mickey Mouse.
By the way, you realize that Mickey Mouse is how I learned to spell my last name, and my kids learned how to spell our last name. Isn't that an interesting fact?
The only way I could spell Mickey Mouse is singing that to myself.
Yeah, that's how we did it. We sang Kaczmarowski, my real last name, to Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
That's how everybody learned it.
But
Anyway, but back to the thing.
But you see,
I just- it
that's
was a
my
fun
look.
fact.
Again, I understand that Donald Duck is an important character. I mean, that Daffy Duck is an important character.
Right.
He's integral to the Looney Tunes and all that stuff. But when we talk about truly inconsequential, we talk about if I pluck this character out, does it hinder or change how the cartoon works?
Right.
If you pluck out Daffy Duck,
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny and the Looney Tunes have plenty of other antagonists, plenty of other lunatic characters to pull from. If you pluck out Donald Duck, you don't have an antagonist to Disney.
Okay.
To Mickey Mouse, to Donald. You don't have that go against that opposing viewpoint to Mickey Mouse.
Daffy Duck was Bugs Bunny's favorite punching bag. Every time.
I think Bugs Bunny's favorite punching bag was anybody he got in front of, like Elmer Fudd, like Yosemite Sam, like anybody that you put him against, he would definitely love to punch back against.
But he would always make sure, it doesn't matter that he was friends with him, he would always push everybody to go after Daffy. So whenever there was a three-way dance, he'd always be going after Daffy.
I understand.
It was he was that integral that he that because then what else was he going to do? We'd just be going one-on-one. You know what I'm saying?
I understand that, but again, if you pluck Donald Duck out, who is there to go against Mickey Mouse? Nobody.
I think that they had. Yeah, you want to know who would go against him?
Who?
Pete.
And he got deemed inconsequential.
Pete.
But he got deemed inconsequential
Because he is inconsequential. Because they should use him more often.
That's like putting out the Roadrunner. That's like pulling out the Roadrunner from Wile E. Coyote. What is pulling out Daffy's like pulling out the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote? No, pulling out Donald Duck is like pulling out the Roadrunner from Wile E. Coyote.
No, you want to know why? Because Mickey has had plenty of successful shows and movies without Donald.
Most of Mickey's movies involve Donald.
By what? Like a little fraction?
No,
just to have a showing?
Most of them have Donald in them.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would absolutely go that far.
Come on, man. Seriously?
Yes.
No. I disagree with that. Listen, and again, I love Donald and I love Daffy. I just think at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Out of the two, Daffy as much as Donald is important and iconic, I think Daffy is a little more iconic.
But I don't think so. I think
people,
so because I think he gets watered down by the fact that there are so many other characters that could take his spot.
More people, I don't know.
I don't think.
We don't know
in
who.
2021.
We don't know who's more
in
popular.
2021. I don't think we live in a world where Daffy Duck gets more shine than Donald Duck because I think Donald Duck is in more places in front of more people than Daffy Duck is.
Now,
like tell me that.
No, he's on Cartoon Network, isn't it? Isn't Looney Tunes isn't all their stuff on Cartoon Network or Hulu?
I think that maybe HBO Max.
I don't know. It's
like
on
that.
something.
It's definitely not on Hulu.
It's on a streaming service
The
like Looney
one
Tunes
with both ducks and the piano chant. Wait.
The one
that was Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah.
That was a really good scene. I love that scene.
That really was. I mean, at the end of the day, again, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how.
Look,
we're
again,
gonna...
I understand. Look, I very much understand that Daffy Duck is an important character, and he's a wonderful character. He's probably one of my favorite characters within Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Just because I think
he's. Ducks.
I just like Daffy. I thought Daffy was always really funny and really. I'm just talking. I'm just saying. If you took Daffy out, there are plenty of other Looney Tunes that exist within the universe that would be able to maybe not fill the role exactly, but Bugs Bunny would be able to use as a punching bag. Bugs Bunny would be able to go up against. If you pluck out Donald Duck, he's too integral of a character. That's what screws Daffy, is the fact that there isn't a lot of characters within Disney that all interact with each other the same way Looney Tunes has all those characters that interact with each other.
That's like
it's more of Disney's fault than it is.
I think I honestly and I think because Herb had brought it up earlier. The Duck Dodgers thing was a huge thing. Duck Dodgers is still to this day.
I understand that
used. You know what I mean? To this day, is still used and memed and all that jazz.
I understand. Well, it's definitely not memed as much as it used to be, or as much as it could have been. But I understand that. But again, Donald Duck is a person, is a character that you can't replace with somebody else within Disney.
But see, it's the same thing.
You can't though.
To me, and it might come out like it might sound weird to those who aren't familiar, but it's like saying if you plucked out
Donald stands on his own all the time. He's got plenty of He's got his own. Does have his own run of cartoons. You just have to go on Disney Plus and watch them.
It's the same thing as if you plucked out the Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh well, you could throw in any wrestler. You know what I mean, to take Ultimate Warrior's place, but no, you can't, because Ultimate Warrior was very important to Hulk Hogan's, whole storyline. You know what I mean? During that time. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
You needed the Ultimate Warrior, just like Looney Tunes. There's so many characters.
You need Donald Duck because you don't have the antagonist within Mickey's world. That character doesn't exist.
No, but now, so if Donald was so important, and I'm going to use what Mary said, even though she, probably was trying to help your side, why didn't they use Donald as Darkwing Duck or use him in any of the other
because there's
properties? But why didn't they, if he's so important, why not use him for any of these other properties and kind of like expand on him?
Well, they want to try and expand to the Looney Tunes.
Christopher,
they want to try to expand to the Looney Tunes-esque world, but it just never took.
I mean, you remember all those shorts?
They wanted to expand to like a Looney Tunes style of these are all of our characters, but it never really hit.
And most of the Walt Disney tunes, like you're talking about, with the where they had their own, they were all shorts. They weren't full cartoons. They were all shorts, like maybe 3-minute, 4-minute cartoons tops.
The Looney Tunes cartoons were pretty quick.
The Looney Tunes cartoons were full cartoons. They were full episodes. They were at least
they weren't like half hours long.
Like at least 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But like there's a big difference there. Looney Tunes got more time. Disney didn't have that time because Disney only was able to put them out until the streaming services on. They were only able to put them out at the beginning of the movies. You know what I mean? I remember that they used to have them on the beginning of the reel-to-reels. That's what I go that far back. So I understand. You know what I mean? That they've had all their shorts. But until recent times, they weren't seen. All people knew them from was because Disney itself at Walt Disney World, and promoting Disney. These are the characters that were like, all right, these are the big characters.
Mickey Mouse had his own run of cartoons on Disney Channel.
Yes, but Donald never did.
But Donald was involved in, like the Mickey Mouse crew, like Mickey Mouse, Donald, Goofy, Minnie, and all them stuff. They had their own run of cartoons within Disney Channel.
Kim says, if Daffy was out, the other characters would be fine without him. Donald is too integral, literally the Fab Five. Yeah, but he's the number 2. Daffy's the number 2 in Warner Brothers.
No, I understand that. Look, again, we're
Herb
not.
says exactly, Brim. Yeah.
Donald's most exposure was shorts before the movies, unlike Daffy with full runs of shows.
Right.
And I understand Daffy's importance, but if you take you can't remove Donald from Disney's Fab Five because you don't have
But you can't remove Daffy either.
Yes, you can, because there's plenty of other Looney Tunes characters that Bugs Bunny and all the other characters interacted with.
Not as popular as Daffy. Not as popular as Daffy. Daffy's the number 2, just like Donald is. I would even argue that Goofy's the number 2.
No, I think Donald's definitely.
Oh, come on. Goofy's had his own shows and his own movies. Donald has never had his own movie because he's unimportant.
But Donald Duck is Donald Duck is the antagonist for Mickey Mouse. Donald Duck is the guy that bucks Mickey Mouse, is the other personality that is basically the anti-Mickey Mouse.
He's the anti-Mickey Mouse, perhaps, but I mean, again, like when we're talking about the grand scheme of things. You know what I mean? Donald, and again, I love Donald, but Donald is not necessarily the number 2 in the company. Why is it that Goofy has his here's the Goofy could carry his own stuff. Goofy movie, Goofy this one, that one, the Goof Troop, and he was into Integral. Donald is the only one that didn't have his own stuff going on until like recently. Now they started putting out more stuff with Donald. You know what I mean? But still not a series.
I mean, like Donald definitely had his. Again, Donald.
He inspired DuckTales.
Donald Donald definitely had his own run of cartoons back when Disney was first running their full cartoons back in like the
I don't know.
50s, and he did that.
No, the shorts. Yeah,
no, but he had full cartoons. You have to again go to Disney Plus. This isn't a plug for Disney Plus. We're not getting paid. I wish we were.
name one that
I
people
can't.
would
I don't
know.
have names of
But
cartoons.
see, that's the point. Not like the name of the cartoon, but what happened in one of the cartoons that everybody would know.
I love the Donald versus the Bear one. That was really good.
But would everybody name something that everybody would know? And this is where I'm going to get you. The fact is duck season, wabbit season, everybody knows. Everybody knows.
I agree.
So if you can give me a situation where Donald has something as memorable, then I can concede.
Well, it's Donald's biggest thing is the Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck song.
The Mickey Mouse, but that's the Mickey Mouse song. You know what I'm saying? It's not. Most kids nowadays don't even know that song because it's not around. They don't use that. That was
but I would say most kids nowadays.
That was the Mickey Mouse Club.
I would argue that most kids nowadays definitely don't know what duck season and rabbit season is.
That's iconic. People still talk about that and do that.
More people will know that. Agreed, Brim. Yeah, but you're thinking about one episode. I mean, like, no, I know that gotta go sample some wines. I believe Daffy is more consequential. Off to drinking time. Behave, guys. Have a good time.
Mary,
have a good time, Mary. This Band-Aid fell off, and now I'm bleeding.
Let's see. Let's go up here to her because we're coming to the end of the show.
We're at the end of the
show.
So,
guys, cast your votes. Who do you feel is more consequential, Daffy or Donald?
We have two for Daffy.
Donald. Let's see. Donald was in DuckTales. Donald could handle his own
Ira
movie.
says
Daffy could.
Ira says Donald. Donald Duck fought Daffy Duck and Roger Rabbit. He did. He absolutely did.
Yeah. They had, but in order for that to all happen, they had to have in contract. They had to have the equal amount of screen time.
Yeah. For
Mickey and Bugs and Donald and Daffy.
Yeah.
So
because look again, it's not because the problem is we're getting into an argument of who's more like popular in the world. That's not the argument. The argument is who's more consequential to their stories.
Yeah, but everything comes into play.
And if you again, what I'm saying is if you yoinked Donald out of the Disney universe, you lose a very major integral character to the fabric of what Disney is. If you yoinked out Daffy, there's plenty of other Looney Tunes that take the place because they literally interact with each other on a weekly, daily, cartoonly basis. Like there's literally 5 or 6 characters that interact within the same set of cartoons. Okay. You know what I mean? Like I understand. Daffy's probably had more cartoons. Daffy's probably had more movies. Daffy's probably duck season, rabbit season.
Donald has more merch.
I totally get.
Donald has more.
Yeah,
merch.
Donald has more merch. I get that. I thought you said Daffy.
No,
I understand.
Donald has more merch.
They're both consequential. We get it. But if you took out Donald Duck, it would do more damage to Disney to the Disney Fab Five than yanking Daffy from Looney Tunes.
Honestly, I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that, but we'll go to the. So I'm for Daffy, you're for Donald.
I'm for Donald.
So there's one on each side, and then
Ira's for Donald.
So that's
Ira's
2 for you.
I'm 2.
Mary and Lisa were for Daffy.
Yeah.
Herb is for Daffy.
Herb's for Daffy.
Kim is for Donald. Okay.
Chris,
so
what's your take on this? And if anybody else is watching and hasn't chimed in yet, please do us a favor.
Yes.
I could care less if Donald was missing. I could care less if Daffy was missing.
No, Mary was Daffy.
Mary said Daffy. Doodly. No, yeah, she said it before. She said it was Daffy.
Too bad we're missing Jose.
I think he's been gone for 2 weeks now.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Donald because when either goes into a fight, Daffy Duck is chicken. 4 against 4.
God damn it.
It's a tie. We have a tie.
Somebody go find a friend and join, please.
Somebody call a friend.
Phone a friend and tell them to come back, and we'll run through the whole thing for another 15. I'm kidding. We won't be able to do that.
Let's see. Look,
damn it.
We'll take a tie. We can have a tie. Listen, we know they're both important. This was a good fight. We can put it to bed.
I feel like this is soccer, and I don't like ties.
What do you call it? I mean, look. At the end of the day,
Plug Podcast is not a living thing. It doesn't count.
That's funny. I'll go for the tie. It's up to you. If you wanna continue.
There's really gonna be there's gonna be no way we solve this
unless we what do you call it? Unless we turn somebody who's watching.
Yeah, and we're already over by 4 or 5 minutes.
Iris says go to
overtime. Overtime with a shootout.
Well, hey, look, if it was a shootout between Donald and Daffy, Daffy would win that.
I guess we'd see.
Well, he was Duck Dodgers. You know what I'm saying? So he's got the aim.
He was Duck Dodgers.
You know what I mean?
Just freaking tie. Okay. Fine, Kim, if you're going to yell at us, we'll just take the tie. But, guys, thank you so much for watching. We really very much appreciate that. Hopefully we don't have as many ties going forward. I hate ties. But
usually it's either a landslide or by like 1 or 2
votes. Hair. If you guys could, like I said, please share, comment on the streams. Like I said in the beginning, all the interaction helps us. It helps more people see us, more people come join us. And I couldn't be more thankful for any of you people that are here. You guys are absolutely amazing. You guys make the show go, and I couldn't be any more thankful.
Absolutely appreciate you guys. We love you. Make sure you catch us every Wednesday. Next week, we're going to be doing a double episode, correct?
I think so.
Next
we'll
week, double episode because you guys are going to be away the following week.
Yeah.
So we'll do a double episode next week, and then the week after that, we won't be on. So make sure you guys tune in for next week's episodes. A lot of fun talk we're going to have. Also, make sure you catch Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is the new episode of the Grindhouse Radio, where we have a very special guest from The Walking Dead. So make sure you tune in to find out who that is, or check our website. It's very easy, thegrindhouseradio.com. And we will thank you and see you again next week.
Later,
Bye-bye.
everybody.